The Vikings know all about training camp distractions. Do I really need to mention a certain former Packers quarterback as an example? But last year's camp and this year's camp have been relatively drama-free. However, there is a little troubling news coming from Mankato today. Offensive tackle DeMarcus Love has been suspended for 4 games for violating the NFL policy on performance-enhancing substances. Love hasn't played a game for the Vikings in the 2 years he's been with the team. He says he's not exactly sure what he took, but he knows it was in a supplement, and he hopes some good can come from the suspension.
It's obviously frustrating, and but one thing about it is bad for me, but it also gets other guys, heads up, so they know that you really got to watch what you put in your body, because whatever it is, they'll find it, and you'll eventually have to pay for it. And so I feel like a lot of guys on the team can learn from my mistake.
Fortunately, the rest of the Vikings are staying out of trouble and are busy getting ready to try and make another playoff run this year. One of the guys everyone is talking about is wide receiver Greg Jennings. He's had a great career so far, but that doesn't mean he's just going through the motions at camp. He is constantly working on improving his game, and he's also taking some time to help the younger receivers.
Our mindset as a receiving core is to score every time we touch the ball, and if we don't practice it, then we can't visualize ourselves doing something that we've never done. So everything that happens over into the game, at some point you've been able to do it in practice.
We get a chance to watch film together every night, each and every night, so we get a chance so I get a chance to learn from a guy like this. And when I can do things better, he always let me know, and if I have any questions, he's always willing to help me out.
Things had been going fairly well for the Twins since the All-Star break. They won 2 out of 3 against Cleveland, 2 out of 3 against the Angels, and split a 4-game series with Seattle. Then Kansas City came to town. Shouldn't be a huge challenge, but it was. Twins trying to avoid the sweep today. In the third, Justin Morneau blasts it to straightaway center. It's gone. Solo home run is his 9th of the year, and it cuts the Royals' lead to 3-2. Jump ahead to the 5th inning. Twins are looking for more. Trevor Plouffe looks like he might have a home run, but in this case, looks are deceiving. Lorenzo Cain robs him of the homer. What a catch. That kind of day, really that kind of series for the Twins. Royals win 7-2. First time the Twins have been swept at home by KC since 1998. Today's loss dropped Minnesota to 45-60, so in an effort to shake things up, they made a couple of big roster moves after the game. Pitcher Scott Diamond and center fielder Aaron Hicks were both sent down to AAA Rochester. Both players have struggled quite a bit this year. Diamond is 5-10 with an ERA of 5.5, and Hicks is hitting under 200 and averaging more than 1 strikeout per game. Twins have called up Oswaldo Arcia. They're expected to make another move in the next few days. Finally, we want to congratulate a couple of swimmers with Minnesota connections. David Plummer from the Minnetonka Swim Club won the silver medal in the 100-meter backstroke at the World Championships. Plummer will also be competing in the 50-meter backstroke and the 400 medley relay over the weekend. And Olympian Rachel Bootsma from Eden Prairie finishes 7th in the 50-meter backstroke. Plummer missed the Olympics in London by 0.12 of a second. So good to see him be able to take home a medal today. I started this week by telling you the last time the Twins swept the Yankees in a 4-game series was 1967. Then the Twins went out and lost to the Bronx Bombers on Monday, then again on Tuesday, then again yesterday. So today they actually tried to avoid being swept as Kyle Gibson made his 2nd career start, and he got hit hard. In the first, Vernon Wells rips the double down the left field line. Zoilo Almonte and Travis Hafner both score, and the Yankees are quickly up 3-0. One of the few bright spots for the Twins, Justin Morneau. In the 4th, he rips this home run to right. He'd had a 2nd homer later in the game, first multi-homer game for him since September, but not nearly enough. In the 6th, Ichiro drives in 2 more with a triple. Kyle Gibson gives up 8 runs in 5 1/3 innings, and the Yankees win 9-5, caps off their first 4-game sweep over the Twins since 2009.
After a good start to it with the Royals, losing the last day against the Royals and then coming here and letting these guys kind of take it to us, and they outplayed us this whole series. We didn't do too much right, so go on the road, very tough road trip, and we'll see how we do there.
Just once again there in the 2nd or the 3rd inning, got beat again by leaving a couple pitches up, hung a change up, a couple sliders, and it's just how it's going to go.
It's been a busy week for the Wild. They took part in the draft, and just an hour ago they actually reached a deal to sign former Gopher Keith Ballard. That's a little different than July 4th last year when the announcement was made that Zach Parise and Ryan Suter would be coming to the Twin Cities.
It's a great day for the organization and for our staff, for our players, for our fans. Great commitment from ownership and from Craig, and we're very fortunate. So today's a great day.
That announcement started a crazy year for the Wild. While the lockout did keep some fans away, many people flocked to the XL Energy Center to see Parisi and Suter, and those two signings were huge for the team. According to the Wild, in last year, they've sold 3,000 new season tickets and 600 Parisi and Suter jerseys. Of course, we can't forget what they actually did on the ice. Parisi was an offensive weapon every night, leading the team with 18 goals and 38 points. Suter led the Wild with 28 assists and was third on the team with 32 points. He finished second in the Norris Trophy voting, and arguably his most impressive accomplishment was that he did all of that while leading the entire NHL in on-ice time per game. Well, this is kind of a strange season for Minnesota United FC. The soccer team has been playing games since early March, but tonight they'll play their first home game of the season outside. That's not because of some epic record-setting road trip. It's actually because United FC has played their first 5 home games of the year at the Metrodome. But now with the gorgeous weather outside and the fact that the Dome has to get ready for football season, United FC is headed back into their home in Blaine, and they're looking forward to getting back outside.
I think the players will have a little pop to their step because, it's nice to play on grass as well. I think there was some nice moments at the Metrodome by playing there this year, and I think certainly what we've had in the past, some really great moments at Blaine. So I think we'll be excited to get on that grass field and hopefully have our home fans come out and boost us and do well for them.
Finally, it's a July 4th tradition, grown men and women stuffing their face with disgusting quantities of hot dogs. The Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest, women's winner for the 3rd straight year, Sonia Thomas, 36 3/4. She looks thrilled about it. On the men's side, Joey Chestnut wins for the 7th straight year, eats a record 69 hot dogs. Just shove them on down there. Gross. If you're wondering, and I know you are, that's somewhere in the ballpark of 20,000 calories that he downed in 10 minutes. Keep in mind, you're supposed to eat roughly 2,000 a day. Vikings and Wild have the day off today. The Twins season is over, and the Timberwolves season hasn't even started yet. And even if all 4 of those teams were in action today, the title of biggest game of the day would go to none of them. That would belong to the Minnesota Lynx. Tonight, the Lynx will open up the WNBA Finals at home as they take on Atlanta. This is a rematch of the 2011 Finals, a series the Lynx won in 3 games. The first 2 games of that series were at the Target Center, and they were both played in front of crowds in excess of 15,000 people. They're expecting around that many fans again tonight, and they know that should give them a big helping hand in this series.
Atlanta remembers how hard it was to play here. When you walked into the arena and it was filled with whatever the giveaway was, and the fans coming early, there was a buzz, and the players felt it, the opponent felt it, and we played all season. Our fans helped us all season to get home court, and now we just got to win, at minimum, win our home games, and we're WNBA champs, and we can all celebrate together.
And when the Lynx hit the floor tonight, it may not be with their normal starting 5. Star Tribune is reporting that Janelle McCarville has a sore back and could miss tonight's game. Report says her back started bothering her after Friday's practice, and the trainers have been working hard to get her ready for tonight's game. McCarville only missed 2 games this year, but the Lynx did lose both of those. Haven't heard an official starting lineup from the team yet, but if she can't play tonight, Devereaux Peters could replace her in the starting lineup. The Vikings have this week off, but a lot of people are already wondering who their starting quarterback will be next week when they play Carolina. Will Christian Ponder be healthy? Will Matt Castle start his 2nd game? Or how about this? Will Josh Freeman be the starting quarterback for the Vikings? Fox NFL reporter Jay Glazer says the former Tampa QB would like to make a decision tonight on where he will sign, and at least 5 teams have reached out to him, including the Vikings. Glazer went on to say Minnesota is the, quote, most desirable option, end quote, for Freeman, and that Freeman has already spoken with Vikings head coach Leslie Frazier and general manager Rick Spielman. Of course, the big question here is what would the Vikings do with Ponder, Castle, and Freeman all on the roster? And it is possible we might have some answer to that question by the end of the night. All right, let's make a quick swing around the rest of the NFC North. Lions playing without Calvin Johnson. He had a knee injury playing in Green Bay. Yeah, that's not good to not have him. Packers up 9-3 in the 3rd. Aaron Rodgers, perfect pass to James Jones. He does the rest. 83-yard touchdown pass. That was the Packers' only touchdown, but it's enough. They win 22-9. Their 23rd straight win at home against the Lions. Bears trying to hand New Orleans their first loss of the year. That's easier said than done. 2nd quarter, they're down 13-0. Jay Cutler to Alshon Jeffrey in the end zone. That cuts the Saints' lead to 13-7, but New Orleans would answer right back. Just before the half, Breeze with the screen pass to Pierre Thomas. Convoy of blockers in front of him. 25-yard touchdown. Breeze throws for 288 and 2 touchdowns. Saints move to 5-0. they beat the Bears 26-18. Now, as you heard earlier in the show, and as you may have seen in a number of places around town, the Twin Cities Marathon took place this morning. 12,000 runners went out and ran 26.2 miles apiece. That means a total of 314,000 miles were run today, or roughly 12 and a half trips around the earth. Just think about that next time you get winded walking from the couch to the fridge. We start with the men's race. This was a very close one. Top runners side by side for the better part of the morning. Finally, at the end, Nick ARCINIAGA turns on the Jets, wins it by 3 seconds. 2 hours, 13 minutes, 12 seconds his time. He says he got a little boost down the stretch from those fans.
The last 400 meters, like just coming in, like it's not a home crowd, but like so many people were cheering my name out there. So it made it feel like everybody like was pulling for me. So like it means a lot to me, like having the crowds out there and being able to come out here and perform like I wanted to. So it's great.
The women's race was not so close. Annie Bersagel just ran away from the field 3 minutes ahead of anyone else. Her time, 2 hours, 30 minutes, 52 seconds. And if you think she's won because she's been running these races for a while, think again.
Well, I've only finished one marathon, and that was the 2009 race here. I ran the Olympic trials, but I pulled my hamstring and had to drop out. So this is only my third attempt. But yeah, I mean, I was thinking when I came through that half, I thought, oh, my coach, Knut is going to kill me. But luckily it went all right.
Her third race, third marathon.
And only the second one she's finished.
I drove 26 miles following a friend today, and that wore me out.